President Donald Trump is using a popular conservative legal theory to
restore that original vision of the presidency that the Constitution creates,
where I have the right to do whatever I want as president.
Like fire thousands of federal workers, dismantle entire agencies, and oversee what were created as independent regulatory agencies. The Supreme Court will be the deciding factor on this executive power reach that critics say
is far more extreme, but which would, I would argue, fundamentally change how the country runs.
Here's the legal theory and the point of President Trump's executive actions and why the Supreme Court might allow this expansion of executive power. The ideology is called the unitary executive theory, that Article 2 of the Constitution, which creates the president, puts all of the executive power in a single unitary president.
This is not new, and it's not a theory. It's a description of what the framers did in Article 2.
Read Article 2, which gives the president powers that you wouldn't believe.
But there are still questions about just how much power and over what. It's well established in the Constitution that the president oversees these cabinet agencies. What's not as defined are independent agencies, things like the FTC, SEC, CFPB, largely economic watchdog and regulatory agencies created by Congress and signed into law by the president. They were designed to be insulated from politics and changing administrations, but they're Trump's primary target. In one executive order, President Trump brought these independent agencies under the executive branch.
Trump is arguing there should not be these independent agencies.
Michael Waldman runs the Brennan Center at NYU Law and has written extensively about the dangers of the unitary executive theory.
It would undo a lot of what we rely on now to regulate the economy, to police the stock market, to assure competition in markets.
That executive order cites Article 2 and the unitary executive theory that says that all employees are subject to the president's supervision. It's his justification for firing, so far, thousands of them.
He's trying to act horizontally, make all the heads of the federal executive agencies responsible to him, and then he's also trying to act vertically.
John Yoo has long advocated for the theory. During the Bush administration, he argued in the torture memos that Article 2 gave the president executive authority to use enhanced interrogation techniques.
President Trump is saying, look back at that unitary executive theory. Why should all those hundreds of thousands of employees be protected from removal too?
And Trump has fired top officials at some of these independent agencies.
The Constitution is clear that when it comes to principal governmental officials, that the president appoints with the advice and consent of the Senate. So it's kind of a harder question. Under what circumstances can Congress place restrictions on the president's ability to remove someone?
It's a harder question, but not a new one. In the 1930s, President FDR fired William Humphrey, the head of the FTC, for political reasons. The Supreme Court